Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latiners Network. Ready to go over all the shows, movies released on streaming over the past week. Give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations, as the case may be. Some shitty shows out there. It is what it is. And as always, at the end of the show, we're gonna give you 2 weeks of shows coming up, so you too can create your very own Watchlist. Joining us as always, live from Houston, is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
You know what I'm gonna say, dude.
I know, so just say it.
You
Get out of your system.
know what I'm gonna say.
Get out of your system, big guy. Go ahead.
Comic Hunter Buzz, baby.
Comic Con countdown continues, inching
Three
ever
weeks,
closely.
2 weeks,
Couple weeks
two and a half
away.
weeks,
So
whatever.
I guess it's time to let you know as these next 2 weeks of shows and what's worth or not what we're gallivanting down the streets of San Diego. Of course, you're new to the channel. We're here every Sunday letting you know there's always something to watch, because there's always something to watch no matter what. Subscribe below, join us Sunday, hit the like button, notification if you're joining us from again, then thank you, appreciate it. And we'll get started with that. Oh, actually, you know what? There is some sad news.
Oh, this
Unfortunately,
is sad news, and then we gotta sum up a couple of endings as well,
sure, we can do
potentially.
that. Let's go to the bad news, get the bad out of the way. We got an in memoriam, a couple passings in Hollywood. So a lot of sad folks out there, or maybe not, depending on who you ask. Of
Yeah.
course, that is a cancellation of not one, but two Netflix shows, The Residence and Pulse, both coming out earlier
What?
this year.
Pulse was canceled? I'm
Yeah,
shocked.
no, what a shock with Pulse, right? It wasn't a good show, and releasing it right when was
No,
the Max one was
no
out.
love for the 305, dude.
You know, that's true. It figures, man. We got deported. Hello. It's joking.
Oh,
The what was
dude,
it? Was
come
it shown on
on.
HBO Max?
The Pit.
The Pit, right? Came out during the same time that was advised, and the residents actually liked the detective shows. Actually, wasn't
I
kind of a
liked the
funny show.
Resonance, man. It was funny. Mystery was hilarious. Character driven, but okay.
I
People didn't like it, I
guess
guess. I don't know.
not a lot of people like it. Not a lot of people watched it. I guess what it boils down to ultimately. So those two shows go the way of the dodo, but that's okay because it'll make room for other shows for us to discuss. But I knew we mentioned some endings, so Chewy, before we
Yes.
get to the new stuff,
hmm
what endings are we referring to?
Well, one obviously the Bear, potentially.
Grr.
So I finished season 4. I assume you
Potentially.
did as well.
Wait, potentially.
Well, I mean, there's rumors
Well, season five
that
got greenlit already.
it did
Yeah, I read that.
100%.
100%.
All I heard that he had ideas. I didn't hear that they're
No,
going forward.
I heard they went forward. I read it like two
Because
different
the whole
articles
point
recently.
of 3 and 4, it was shot back to back because it was getting expensive and getting these people, getting Jamie Elliott. I mean, these guys, the two main guy folks are stars now, and to secure a star for a season is you know
It's expensive.
it's expensive. It's near impossible because they're being pulled into, obviously he's doing a lot of movies. He's doing the upcoming, I think it's releasing soon, the Bruce Springsteen biopic. It looks pretty good actually. But yeah, so if that's 100% for sure confirmed, let's double check before
Yeah,
we break any
I'm
news.
checking it right now. Bears been renewed for the fifth season. FX officially announced the renewal on July 1st.
Ah, well then then thank God, because I was about to dog this ending.
So it wasn't
Look,
an ending before you. So yeah,
no, no,
whatever.
no, no. I mean, because I told my wife, and she's like, because I everything up to this point was like, this is the end. It was only 4 seasons. We heard this two
Oh,
years ago.
I never assumed that. Honestly,
Well,
so.
no, but they said it 2 years ago because they filmed these back to
Eh,
back with the intent that this was going to be the end.
They
Everyone I've
say a
talked
lot. They
to,
say a lot of
every
things.
podcast I listened to is like, this is. Up before this release, this was going to be the finale, and so everything was built that okay, they're going to
Which
build towards some
is
crescendo.
which is why you don't listen to those other podcasts. You just don't
And
have
well,
the
this is
necessary
this.
information. You hear it here.
Okay.
I never said it was the final season. I never understood it was the final season. Was it possible? Any of these, the Pulse was a possible
Then,
for the
then in
final
that case,
season,
I'm gonna
right?
take
You
everything
know.
back because
There you
as an
go.
assumed finale, I was so
No, listen.
utterly
If this was right,
dissatisfied.
if this was the last episode, then yes, not a good way to end it. But it's not.
No,
So that's all.
okay. Well, then I
Take
take
that
that
with it.
back. Then I love this season now even more, knowing that this it didn't end like this. They left so many open threads of like they didn't. I
Of
mean, yeah, they closed a lot.
course.
There was a big
No.
resolution, but we didn't know the whole star situation. The restaurant is moving forward. What's going on with the beef? Uh, it was just so there was just so much there, right? And
No,
I'm
right.
like,
Listen, I get
okay.
it. And I think it needs one more season. It shouldn't go beyond five. I
No,
think
but I think you just need one more to wrap up and
right.
give
That's what I'm
us
saying. Give us
some
one
sort of
more and
resolution. Don't
close it
don't
out.
give us Sopranos garbage
No,
ending.
no, no, of course.
Uh,
Listen, they're gonna do. It's
don't
definitely
pull a Game
fictional.
of Thrones with the twist that no one saw coming. It was ridiculous.
They're gonna do season 5. Whether it's the last one, I'm sure they'll announce that later once they start prepping for it. I'm sure we'll get that announcement
Okay,
soon. But
well
it should
then
be
then
5. So it
then
was a really good
everything I
season.
said,
Yeah.
never mind. Great season,
There you
better
go.
than three.
You can tell your wife
Um,
just kidding. You made
yeah.
a mistake.
I'm glad to see we saw who Francine Fack is.
Right. True. True. Yeah. Some good
um,
surprises, some good
yeah,
episodes in there.
yeah.
I think it ended well for not finalizing its series.
Mhm.
You're giving just enough to say, oh man, so where we're going, not where we're going now. Since that, I don't want to spoil it. What happened. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, no, it's great season, back to form. Like I said, it was better than season 3 by far.
Yes,
That's
yes.
my opinion. So yeah, that definitely. And again, we are getting officially is season 5. So there you go.
Okay. Well then, good.
Was
I'm
another
so
one
happy then.
or was another one that ended like that? That it's worthy of
Well,
discussion or no?
Duster ended. I'm not sure.
Duster was really good. I'm not sure worthy of discussion, but it's a really good show on
Yes, yes,
Max.
it was. It was
Yeah,
surprisingly better than I thought.
absolutely, 100%.
Um,
Yeah.
and obviously I can't. I don't want to spoil it, but the at the end, not everything was what seemed, which was good, right? Because like
Mhm.
everything was built up to, yeah, ultimately get, vengeance, and it wasn't that, and it was good to see that, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, I think that the one of the stars just got a Hollywood star, Walk of Fame star. That guy has been in everything for
Oh,
so
that's right.
long.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I saw his voice acting credits, Gargoyles,
yeah,
Spawn. I mean, all these great cartoons that I watched as a kid. I was like, dang, he's been around forever. He was in the Quick and the Dead. I
yeah.
mean, he's been,
Keith David. He's done a lot of things.
yes,
He
yeah,
was
he's
in
so many things for so long, dude.
the
I'm like,
fight scene and They Live. He was part of that.
oh
He
my
was
god, that was great. Oh, that's
yeah.
oh,
This
that's right. He was
the
a project.
Thing. He did voices
Yes.
in Rick and Morty, and
Oh
Platoon.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he's the president of Rick and Morty. I love that.
yeah, he does a lot of things. Something about Mary. He's Mary's father.
Yeah,
Frank
yeah,
and
yeah.
Beans. Yeah, he's done a lot of. He's been around for a
Yeah.
long time.
So
So
that
no
was a
doubt,
good
man.
one
Yeah,
that
it
ended.
was a good show on that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good way launching to hopefully it gets renewed. Obviously, nothing's official until it's
Well, fair enough,
announced.
fair enough. But yeah,
But they
they
left the
did.
door open definitely
Yeah.
for a season two or and beyond, whatever. It
No,
was a
I
good
like
show. I
it.
liked
It
it.
was an enjoyable show, surprisingly good on Max and all that. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a marquee Sunday show, but it's a very good Thursday show
No,
for sure.
no, it's a good Thursday. It's a good Thursday, kind
Yes.
of heading up the start the your weekend with the Thursday showing,
Yeah,
and
exactly. Weekly release, and I think that's fine for it. So, for sure, those are 2 shows. There's a lot of shows going on. We can go back, how many shows are still ongoing. But let's focus on what we just kind of got released. And the first one here is on AMC, and that's Nautilus dropping 2 episodes.
yes,
Week release thereafter. This I didn't know it was originally supposed to be on Prime, and they
yes, it
shipped
was.
it
I
out.
told you this was one that
Yeah,
was shipped around, and AMC snatched it up.
they snatched
It's
it
been
up.
in the shelf for at least a year, maybe two, maybe
A
two.
couple of years, been a while, but yeah, this one obviously, it's a prequel to stories, of course, Jules Verne and then Captain Nemo, of course, and the submarine, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of like a action adventure kind of show, dropping two
Yeah.
episodes. Drew, your thoughts on this one?
I wasn't bad. I mean, AMC generally puts out good stuff. Maybe
They do, they do.
Sans the 20 plus years of Walking Dead, which they still can't get away
They
from.
won't let that go, man. I swear to God, it's like it's the the woman, the guy whose girlfriend cheats on him, she'll let her back in the house all time and time and time, expecting different results. It's not gonna happen, big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that shows fun to go. Yeah, but Nautilus, yeah, go. I'm sorry.
No, so I enjoyed it. Like I said, interesting. Look well made. So obviously, if this is prime before that they weren't going to take any shortcuts. Interesting characters. And look, it's only 2 episodes in. I'm just not sure what to expect, right? How where they're going to take this going forward. Now that we got the ship and it's obviously very different from as how they introduced us to what I remember as never read the book, but obviously I remember the movie, the Disney movie. So this is definitely not that.
No, well, in some ways it kind of is. Um, if you, for those who remember the original, well, not the original, and the Mummy with Brendan Fraser, right? This is what this reminds me of in terms of tone,
Yes,
kind of
yes,
goofiness, at the same time silly, for better or worse. So it's okay. I'll keep watching it. It's Sunday. Sunday's an easy day to watch. It's kind of, at least for me in AMC Plus. But if the Mummy kind of campiness sounds like it's up your alley, you enjoy that, I think this show will be for you.
Well,
Um,
I mean, for the Mummy, for what it was its time, it kind of was. It did kind of grow on
it
you.
worked, I guess, but it was, even then it was campy. It was, but that's what it was going for. It wasn't like unintentional. That was the push, and this show's doing the same thing. But it's in the same vein, right? Some people don't like that, and I get it. I can be indifferent depending on what I'm watching. But it's it's interesting. I did enough. I like the characters, the stories. Okay, there's a kind of a high seas pirates girl kind of thing feel to it. So yeah, I guess it's just AMC. Nothing to watch on Sundays or Monday nights. I guess I recommend it for the most part. Next one, Attack on London documentary, 4-part docu-series on Netflix. Of course, chronicling the events of the London July 7th, 2005 bombing. Of course, several bombing. This has come while the world was still reeling over 9/11, so it's still pretty close together, a few years apart. London got multiple attacks, bomb attacks in the subway and all that, and it kind of talks to the people who were actually in the subway, which is wow. Those who suffered catastrophic injuries, and they're there, and the investigators, and going back as far as what happened and all that. So, listen, as far as documentaries go, these kind of documentaries, it was good. It's interesting. Um, Hearing a guy, and I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't watched it, want to watch it, but the guy's talking about he actually saw the bomber on the train next to him, and he was there when the bomb exploded. I'm like, damn, how did he live? Eventually found out he didn't go unscathed, and I was like, wow, that's brutal. Among other individuals, and it was good. I mean, I wasn't too familiar with everything back then, so much going on, but I enjoyed it. It's 4 parts. It's to the point. It's not as dry as I thought it might be, so I would recommend for me, Chewy.
Um, no, for me it was very dry. I
Okay,
mean, uh, and maybe I'm just biased because there've been a dramatization already, the bombing on
sure.
Netflix,
It's not new.
which is, and then I even with the case of the murder of the Brazilian Meneses, who was mistakenly, he was being, he was gunned down, and because at the height of this, they were trying to track down this guys, and they utterly screwed the pooch on that and killed him. It was a dramatization on that, which I really enjoyed. Right. But they did spend a little time on that with that aspect in this series, which was good to see, right? Because they weren't trying to shy away from the mistakes that they made post the attack. But it was just very dry, and it was just I'd seen the other shows already. Kind of already had the new just of it. This one just didn't fly with me.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Like I said, it's not great, but it's for those
Yeah.
who may be unfamiliar with the subject matter. I think it's an interesting watch. The next one I know you didn't watch, so I'll take the lead here. And that's Heads of State. We got a movie released on Amazon Prime starring John Cena, Idris
Did I make
Elba.
a good choice?
We'll find it out. Listen, it's surprised the reviews weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. When I checked around, whatever the case is, and this is exactly why. And there's 2 movies we're going to talk about, and
Okay.
I keep telling people this: never, ever go by what Rotten Tomatoes tells you. Ever. What you want to do is find a reviewer or two that you trust, whose opinions line up with yours. I mean, it's not going to be 100%, but for the most part, and stick with what that individual may say, right? That matches Rotten Tomatoes. That's just coincidence. This one's got like a 65%, right? This movie got, this huge stars, big names, Amazon. There's a reason why this didn't get released in theaters, right? Those kind of, that's star power. You know what I'm saying? We
Yes.
got
Yeah.
seen as like the president of the United States. He's an actor turned president. He's got no political background. And I just Elba is, prime minister, of course, UK. They don't like each other well, and they're forced to kind of come together, trying to keep NATO together. There's a terrorist attack. They get, almost get assassinated, and now they find themselves on their own, trying to survive and figure out what's going on, the government, and yada yada yada. Listen, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I will say that it's not dog shit, but let's not get it twisted. It's not that good either. The humor does not work at all. Some of the action is okay. I'll give it that. But I'm not still not recommending this film. it's but it's not dog shit for whatever it's worth. Listen, you're big fans of these guys and you're that bored and there's literally nothing else to watch. Roll the die. You never know. Some people I can see people liking this film, so no doubt about it. It was not that great. Chewie did a good job passing, but again, it wasn't as
Okay,
bad as I
I'm
think it's
glad.
gonna be.
I actually watched Sinners instead.
Sinners is a
Um,
great movie. I love Sinners.
yes, I saw that last night. It came
Love
out on
Sinners.
Max for
Yeah.
free,
Yeah, I'm watching
and
it now with the missus
yeah,
today. Yeah.
me and Mark, we saw it last night. We really liked that a lot. It was really great.
That's a
Very interesting.
really
Very
got
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Very interesting take on the
The
vampire
vampire,
lore,
yeah,
right?
yeah, give us something more on the vampire genre, which is tired.
Yes.
I get it, right? Um, it's very. I didn't tell my wife and we'll watch it because we saw the first half and we have to go to bed. But I didn't tell her what it's about, so just watch it. We haven't gotten to the vampire part yet, so I want to get her reaction because we didn't know about it. And watching the film, like, okay, what's going on here? All right, cool, and then boom, here it comes, right? So I'm kind of curious to get her reaction. Great movie though. Not again, not so Max. Next one here, the Old Guard 2. Of course, been 5 years since the original. I thought Old Guard one of the best Netflix films, original films that they've had. I enjoyed it,
Yeah,
rewatched it, I
best. I
liked
mean,
it.
action films, right? I think it
Action
was
films,
released
correct? Action
around
films,
with the Chris Hemsworth one.
a bunch of them.
Um,
Extraction, which is
yeah,
good.
Extraction, which really, I really like. I mean,
There's been
even
a
though for
bunch, yeah, yeah.
yes,
There's been a bunch, but that was one of the better ones, right? Good story, like the characters, is kind of this group of immortals who kind of fight for good, kind of thing, right? You know, it's kind of almost like a superhero esque, but not quite to that degree. Charlize Theron, of course, is in this one. A couple other notables. This one here, this one got destroyed on Rotten Tomatoes. Destroyed like 25% is what
wow.
my wife said.
I didn't pay attention to Ron
And
Tomatoes with
that's
this
what
one.
I'm saying, right? And there's no way. This is not a great movie. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's not. But you can't tell me that 65% goes to heads of state and this gets 25%. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not at any stretch of the imagination. This is not a terrible film. It's
I
not
mean,
a good
I
one.
think this is a case of expectations versus
Correct. But you
what
have
you
to
saw
judge these
versus
films in its own, right? You could say it's not as good
because
as
I
the
mean,
first. Sure.
I watched this one. I was looking forward to this one,
Yeah.
and well, obviously it did live up to the first one.
No,
It
it did
fell
not.
well short of that.
Sure.
But it wasn't bad. I was still entertained,
No,
but
it was
I
entertaining.
wanted, I think I wanted more. Uh, I don't know. There's just something
I,
missing that the first one had. This one is just lacks.
Correct. It lacked a little bit of some of the humor, some of the interaction with the characters wasn't quite there like within the first one. No doubt about it, right? But the story, the lore behind it was still there, and I like the
Mhm.
lore. They wasted Uma Thurman, unfortunately.
I
Uh,
think yes, yeah, pretty
Totally wasted.
much.
Yeah, she should have
Yes.
had more. But what? And she's really, we've seen her do action. You know, she's legit. It was okay. It was fine. And listen, if you're an Orgar fan, it's not as good. It's not a bad movie. It's not 25%. It's just not.
Well, I mean, those scores. I mean, it's a little misleading because it's like
But
it's.
that and that's what which is why I say
I
never
mean, it's
trust
not
Rotten
like it's the
Tomatoes.
people giving that 1 out of 4 stars. It's just when you look at those percentages, who has a positive reaction versus a negative. That's all it is, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's why we look at the aggregate scores. It's not indicative of what people actually think of the film, right? But you see
Yes,
25%. Oh, it's you automatically think it's dog
it's
shit, right?
dog
That's what
shit.
you
Yeah.
think. Had just like 65%. Oh, it's really good. Calm down. Both ends were extremes, right? If you tell me both got 50%, 40, okay, I guess I can buy that. But listen, I enjoyed it. It was still okay. It was
Yeah,
entertaining for
I
Yeah,
still watched it.
of course, for a
Um,
Netflix film, was worth the watch. Absolutely. If you're a
but
fan of the first one,
there could
yeah,
have been so much more.
no
Not as far
doubt.
as the action, but just the story or the story that they
Yeah,
chose to
the action was
tell.
cool. The story
Yes.
was needed something more, a little more punch behind it. You know, that's all.
Mhm.
But looks like hopefully there's a third. So I kind of want to see where they go with the third one. I guess it doesn't go by quality; it goes by quantity and people who watch it. So if it remains at the top of the charts for a while, they'll probably give us a third one, and I will
Yeah.
watch it. They're enough for me to watch a third one. How about that?
Yes. Yes.
Fair enough.
But it definitely was a step down.
Oh, for sure, no doubt. There's no argument there. But not a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen worse on Netflix by far. Next one, last one here. We got the series, The Sandman, returning for its second and final season on a two-part basis, 6 episodes now, and then in a couple weeks we get the other 4 or 5, whatever it is.
Well, Comic Con week, we get the last 4, yeah. So
Oh, it's a time. Okay, last four on this one
I'm gonna have
here.
to. I don't know what I'm gonna do that week.
We watch it in a hotel room, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna bring my tablet with me.
I'm not gonna have
Uh,
time, dude.
but probably not. It is what it is. On a plane ride home, I got plenty of time. Either way. So yeah, Sam, of course, isn't. I love the first season based off Neil Gaiman's book, of course, a graphic novel which I loved. Very fantasy, very head-on fantasy show. This one leads into it. True, your thoughts so far? I've only seen two, given the holidays busy around. But what are your
I've
thoughts so
seen
far?
3, so I've
Okay,
seen the first arc, right?
gotcha. Okay,
And no, I'm enjoying it, right? I mean, visually it looks amazing. The
true.
way they've taken, this fantasy genre from book to the visual medium and still, maintain that aesthetic look and feel, right? and all the I mean, like in this one, I mean, they introduced characters we've seen from Marvel. I mean, we got Loki, we
I
got
guess that
Odin, we
Odin,
got
Thor, yeah,
Thor,
yeah,
we got fairies and
yeah.
elves, we got
Which is
the
a really
demons
cool
of
dynamic
hell.
when all these,
Yeah,
I
all
guess,
these characters, even like
individuals
I saw
vying
like
for the
the
power of hell,
clowns.
essentially.
I
Yeah,
mean, they thought
yeah,
it right because there was one
yeah,
little
yeah.
girl with the balloon. I'm
With the
like, oh,
balloon, yeah. Which is pretty cool. So
so
it mixes in all these kind of mythologies from the other sources and
yes,
stuff
yeah,
in a good
all these
way. Yeah,
different realms, different
yeah.
things they bring together, and it works, right? Because
Mhm.
obviously you're dealing with the same seven, or actually six, but it's really seven main realms, right? Delirium, despair, desire,
Desire, of course.
dream, death, destruction, destiny, right? Destruction walked away. We understand,
Mhm.
from the first episode, he walked away and hasn't been seen since. I think that's part of what this story is driving towards, right?
It will be, of
Um,
course. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but I think like I said, we even get Lucifer, right? With
Game of Thrones.
yes,
Alone.
thank you. What's her name? I can't remember her name now. It
The
just
tall, the
exists.
really tall woman. I mean, she's like six
Yeah,
feet. She's
Brianna Tarth, but
huge.
that's obviously
Yeah.
not her name.
Well, right, of course. But yeah, yeah.
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn. Yes, something correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Either way, our apologies.
Because I enjoyed season one. We're waiting forever for season two. There's a part of me that's like, okay, this is the end. So it's hard to judge two seasons when this is it, right?
Right.
And so I'll reserve full judgment until I see how they could wrap this up, and then take
No,
it from
that
there.
correct. Gwendolyn Christie was her name.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
No, yes, I'm enjoying it. I'm a big fan of the show. It's slower, but it's gonna hopefully build up to it. And hope they
Mm.
go. I mean, like I said, they're truncating a lot of the stories in it, so I don't know what they're gonna give us here in this season.
Yes, which
So
is
I'm
unfortunate,
hoping,
right? Yeah.
right? So I'm hoping to give us the good stuff. We'll see, right? But so far, so good. I like what's building up to. I love the lore, seeing again all these different things from other mythos and all that. That was a really cool episode. So yeah, I'm all for it. It's heavy into fantasy, so if that sounds like your bag, I think there's a show you definitely should be watching. Go back to that first season and again catch his next
Oh,
two
and
good.
it's good to
You know,
see another Game of Thrones alum, Eden again. King Joffrey.
oh, he
He
King
was
Joffrey's
the
in this.
that was you didn't recognize him. Oh my God, yes, he
I did
was
not.
the sprite in the episode where they go back where with Shakespeare and they do the play. He was the mischievous little, not little, but he
Oh,
was the guy who took over the guy, put on the mask, and finished the play. That's him.
okay.
Jackie.
Well,
I
look
can't
at
remember his
that.
last name.
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones is people still
Yes.
eating off Game of Thrones, baby. That's what I like to hear. But definitely a good show. So I guess a lot of interesting stuff to watch over the next week or so and all that. Um, but yeah, because it's gonna be a huge week this week coming up. A lot of stuff and cuts will have to be made because it's just too much to watch. Not a bad situation, but it's only so much we could do. Starting on the 9th, we got Ballard. This was, of course, a spinoff of Bosch, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Coming out with its first season, police procedural kind of show, and that's as basic as we can say about it. Dropping on the 9th. Not sure if it's dropping all episodes or if it's,
I
I don't
think
know.
I heard that they are dropping all the episodes, but
I hate when I do that, but whatever. Fair enough.
yes, yeah.
Okay, whatever. It's early on, but this is such a weird week. The next one, Gringo Hunters on Netflix on the 9th as well. Man, here, damn, those gringos, man. So this is
Gringo, go home, dude.
A Mexican show, I think. I don't know. I
Yes,
guess it's a task
I
force.
believe so.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
task force hunting down those who cross into Mexico. You don't hear that very often. So this is the reverse ICE, if you will. They're
Well,
chasing them
stop,
down.
stop it,
I
dude.
know,
Stop it. Okay.
but I got
Look. There's a long history of American, outlaws, criminals who try to escape justice by going into Mexico, right? I mean,
like
the Old West.
like no one likes Latinos. Well, all of a sudden when you gotta hide, you come join the crew, man. Whatever, dude.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
now we need it.
Exactly.
Now we're
Exactly.
important.
Yeah.
Fine. So these guys are dedicated to kind of bring those guys to justice. Could be an interesting show. On the 10th, we got Too Much. This is a comedy. Is it? We'll see.
We'll find out.
This is a woman, I guess, who went through a bad breakup, moves away, tries to start
Yeah.
over,
So she
and
the assistant slash partner from Hacks, right? That's where
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where we saw her. So now she's
yeah.
got her own comedy show. So
Let's see.
we'll see. We'll see.
Netflix
We'll
doesn't
see.
always succeed with these. That's on a short lease. I guarantee you that. Also on the 10th, we got Suspicious
Boo,
Minds
boo
on
bitch
Hulu.
short or
This got a boo bitch kind of feel to me. We'll see. But at least she's there. I might get one episode. It better attach yourself. Suspicious Minds on Hulu coming out. This is a heist, right? Spanish show about
Another
people
yes,
involved in
the
a heist.
Spanish show, yes.
Yeah, so heist, you kind of had us at that word, so
Yeah.
why not? On Apple, this is the big day. It's like, oof, this is what cut's gonna have to get made or something. We got one of Chewy's favorite shows dropping his third season, Foundation. I know he's going back and we're watching the first two. I see it on your Apple Plus.
Yeah, I did.
I wanted to, I just didn't get a chance to, so whatever. But it's a great show, great sci-fi.
Well, I mean, I have to because that show is so dense. There's
It
so much
really is. I
going
know I'm gonna
on.
be lost like the first episode. I'm like, what? Oh, and
Yeah, I
eventually
mean,
it'll
because
hit me.
you
know?
probably should watch at least the finale of season 2 just to get
I
a
probably will,
reset.
or I'll probably go on YouTube and just catch like a summary, just to kind of because
Because there was a lot going on at the end of season 2.
It
The
is.
time jumps are the biggest thing,
Of
and here's
course.
another time jump, obviously.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
jarring at first. It takes time to get back into
but
the
but
groove
you
of the
but
show,
you
right?
get but actually it helps move the story along
Oh,
because
it does.
these are
Yeah,
things.
it's
These are
something you're used
events
to. Yeah,
that don't take that this is not like Civil War. A couple of years, you're done, right? This
yeah,
is generational spanning change,
yes,
right?
hundreds of
And
years. Yeah, the story
yes,
spans. This is a great show. It's really well done. It's incredibly well produced on Apple Plus for sure.
yeah, yeah.
On Apple again, we get The Wild Ones. This is a
This is
reality
a nature
show,
show.
nature
Yes,
show, right? Those guys go
4 episodes.
trying
Yeah.
to protect endangered species,
Hmm.
some of that. So whatever, like nature shows. On Prime, we got a documentary of one night in Idaho.
Hmm.
This is, I guess, a story about a few 4 or 5 college students that were murdered.
Yeah,
That goes
the
into
Idaho murders from
yeah,
a few years ago. Yes. Hmm.
yeah, so it goes into that investigation. So why not? HBO, we got another Spanish, a lot of Spanish stuff all of a sudden. Rage, this one here, a lot of prominent Spanish actors from what I understand are
I
in
think
this
this
one.
is a Mexican show. The other one, the highest one is from Spain, right? So
Oh, so that one's Spanish. Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Okay,
The other one that one is from Spain. This one is, I think, based in Mexico, if I'm not
okay.
mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's 4 or 5 women who go into
Mhm.
traumatic events, kind of coming together and some kind of revenge thing along those lines. I'm
Yes,
not 100%
I
sure
think
what it
so.
is.
Yeah.
And then we got on Paramount, we got the Return of Dexter, Dexter Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Um,
I haven't seen
why?
any of the Dexters. I didn't see the original. I didn't see the not the reboot, the continuation that came out
Right.
semi
Well, I guess
recently.
it's the re-finale because they did it again.
Yes,
They did
and
a much
then I
better
didn't see
job closing the show.
the prequel
No, I skipped
either.
the prequel. This prequel's pointless. I'm not watching. I didn't
Okay,
watch the prequels.
okay.
Why watch a
I'm
prequel of a
thinking
story I already know?
I'm gonna jump on here just because I don't know.
That's kind of a weird point to jump. I mean, you can try. You can let me know what you think. I mean, I probably will be out because I like the way it ended and like okay, well, okay, whatever. It's like seems like a money grab, but I'm curious to see what your thoughts on it. You not particularly not
But like I
watching
said,
any of them.
there's a special on Prime because we have the Paramount
Yeah.
without the premium, um, and so if I want a Showtime, I have to get it separately or pay for.
Well,
But
if you check it out, I'm interested in your thoughts,
Prime
particularly
has a
since yeah.
99 cent special for 2 months, and then regular price after that. But for 2 months of $2 at the Casher Show, why not?
Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'll see. I'm kind of curious what you think. Not having seen any of Dexter,
Yeah.
so kind of curious about that. The week after, not a lot. It's a kind of a short week on MGM. So there's 10 people out there who ears went woo. We got The Institute as a Stephen King based show, a story into a show. I'm not sure
I
exactly
mean,
what it is.
MGM is like, I mean, they're like the anti-Apple. Apple drops so much, a lot of great stuff that we like. Some not so good, but there's like, but this one is like they only drop one show at a time.
One show
So,
one show a year
we're
on what it feels
in
like
some,
sometimes.
like in fantasy, volume is king, not from MGM. So you get to watch one, finish, and decide whether to cut it off or not. Oh, new
Yeah,
show coming. Okay, I'll re up
yeah.
and watch the next show.
MGM's the bench player in your fantasy team that you put in the 1 week and hey he explodes and then you don't hear about him for the rest of the season. You drop when everyone gets on it.
Yeah.
That's the institute. I mean, MGM is probably that, but whatever. Maybe we'll get Chewy's thoughts on that next week. On Netflix, we got Amy Bradley's Missing. There's interesting docu series, I guess. A
Yes,
woman disappeared on a cruise. There's nowhere to go on the cruise, but on a boat, and not she was
but the only place
not
you can
found.
go is
Right, only go is the
overboard.
water. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So do the math. But yeah, she was never discovered. So interesting there. On the 17th, we got a show Untamed. I think it's a Spanish show. Maybe I think no, maybe it's not.
No. This
Oh no,
one
I'm thinking of the
is
next one. Then I
yeah.
take it
You
back.
think of
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
This one
yeah.
is with Eric Bana, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
I
think he's
believe.
investigating a murder or something out in the wilderness or something like that along those
Yeah,
lines.
yeah.
Your classic kind of Netflix thriller. Netflix also has another one, Spanish show, Delirium, on the
Yes,
18th.
this
This
one.
one,
This
yeah.
one's color. I believe it. I think it's a Colombian show, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
At
there you
least the
go.
main actors. I've seen him in a lot of Colombian shows that we don't Netflix. I mean, in telenovelas as
Yeah.
well. So,
I'm worried this might be a telenovela kind of thing, or like 25
and no, I don't think.
episodes.
I don't think this one is. No,
I hope
this was
not.
only. No, this is not a telenovela, but it is
Okay.
a Spanish show, but or a Colombian show.
Yeah, I think
But
the woman is gone. She's delirious, and the husband's trying to find out what's going on behind the mystery of why
mhm,
she ended up the way she is.
yes.
We'll see. Give it a shot. So it's an easy week and 2 weeks. Next week is a lot. So there's not a lot to watch as we go into
Mhm.
Comic Con week and all that. So I'll be caught up
You
before
know,
I leave.
I forgot to ask you your final thoughts on Ironheart.
Ugh.
Okay, never
Um.
mind. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It just no, it didn't quite work. It's not a horrible show. It's not dog shit. But I don't know. It should have been 3 4 episodes. I bet this should have been a movie. How about
Well, I
that?
mean, I thought of this as a movie, right? Just a longer movie,
I know, but
not a
it's a long.
show.
This is a 4.5 hour movie. It's too long for any movie. It's
Well, I
that
mean,
far.
this officially only brings this officially concludes episode 5, uh,
Phase
um,
five.
phase 5. This is
Yeah.
the end, right? This should have been released
Phase
way
five
before
ended a
now.
long time ago.
Well,
Uh,
dude,
let's be honest. But
stop it.
it wasn't nice if it was flight lining on there. Just let it die. No resuscitation thing. What the people
All
say.
right. Anyway,
The phase 6 coming. Hopefully, bring it back to what we know
well, I
more.
mean, obviously, it's kicking off in 3 week Comic Con actually with
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
So
So
we'll see.
it's looking like. I mean, well, I'm looking forward to it. I
I'm
mean,
looking forward to it,
I
but I
guess
mean,
you're
I
not.
don't know. I don't know. We'll see what we get, right? I just don't trust Marvel now. Put it that way. I'm looking
Okay.
forward to it. I just don't trust them to make it say, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Is it? I don't know, right? That's what I'm saying, right? I want to see it.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
DC's too. Superman 2, right? I want it to be great. I'm looking forward to
Well,
watch it.
I mean,
But
they
do we
lost me
really
a
trust?
long time ago, and
Well,
these
that's what I'm
trailers
saying. Right?
are
Yeah.
not getting me excited. I mean, this whole
Neither one,
James
right?
Gunn is
Yeah.
the savior. I'm looking at these trailers,
We'll
and I'm
see.
thinking, what the fuck is this? This
Well,
is
I talked to 3 different people. One through a friend, two
okay.
personal, right? One of
Who've
them that
seen it?
has
I assume.
who's seen it. Yes, obviously.
Okay.
So, the one who saw it through a friend that gave me the info was like, eh. The
Eh.
other one thought it was great,
Okay.
and the person was she works security at some of these events. She absolutely hated it. So I
Wow.
just all over the map. So
So one of each, one good,
one of
one
each
and one
and one
terrible.
I mean hate it. And
From what I've
that was the
seen for the
exact
trade,
quote.
first, I don't like the Superman they picked. That's first and foremost. But
Eh,
whatever. Not that against it.
we
But
got to see him. Let's to be fair. Let's be fair.
there is from these trailers. There is just I'm getting like a spaghetti feel. I mean, they've thrown so much different things into these trailers, right? I mean, we got Lex Luthor, we got these big beans, we have Hawk Girl, we've got a version of Green Lantern. I mean, and plus the other characters that I know nothing about because I'm not a big DC fan or a comic
Sure.
fan, to be honest with you. It feels spaghetti. It really does. I'm getting a sense of spaghetti, and maybe
Listen,
when
that could
someone says
very
I
well be
hated
the
it,
case.
you
That could
know,
very well be the
that's
case. No, that's what I'm
and if
saying.
this doesn't, if this and this is supposed to, I mean, I am so concerned that this is what's being sent. This is the kickoff, and if this doesn't hit,
That's what I've been saying for a while. This movie has to be good, not just good. It has to be great, right?
no, it
It
has
could
to
be
be
good,
great.
and that's
It
fine.
has to be great.
I like good movies, but I mean, as far as the overall and the impact on the DC, it needs to be great. I'll find out tomorrow. I'm watching it tomorrow on a Monday,
Oh shit. Okay.
so I will on this channel put the review on that one. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm gonna go with there clean slate, prepare to enjoy it,
Well, I
and
mean, we have no expectation because we haven't gotten anything good
right,
from it in a
exactly.
long
And
time.
yeah, this is
I
a
mean,
new DC.
I'm not even counting Creature Commandos. That's animated. Animated
It's
and live
anime.
action are
It's
two different
different, right?
things.
Two different things. And then, again,
Yes.
this one is a new DC, for better or worse. We'll find out
No,
if it's
yeah.
better
This
or
is
worse.
his version of DC. That's fine.
Correct. If it's worse, worse. Seriously.
Yeah.
I I think
I mean, he
at
gave us
best it's
Guardian,
gonna be
so
okay.
he has
Listen, he's
cachet.
giving us some good
But
stuff. There's no doubt.
yes,
So he knows how to make films.
yes,
There's,
yeah, he does. But
there's
there's
no
just
denying that.
something strikes me as
I get it. I
there's
gotta.
just
This is going to be a very divisive film.
it's
Even some of the stuff
it's
that
sounding that way.
I've heard in either out there, just from just an article, whatever. it doesn't sound like it's a resounding, man, this is going to be great. It depends who you ask, and you're going to get all kinds of different responses.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting the groove on it. But I was telling Eric and yesterday, I want to talk to people when I'm there, and I want to just get their opinion after, just to get a sense of what other people may be thinking. I'm very curious. I got a feeling maybe I love it, so everyone else hates it. It's very possible, or vice versa. But I'll put on there. So tomorrow night, 10:45, 11 EST, I'll have the review up. But that said, of course, here every Sunday we'll stick with the TV shows and films on streaming and all that good stuff, and let you know what's what. Big week next week. We'll see what makes the cut or not, because it's a lot of stuff coming out next week. With that said, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace out.
Peace.